Sydney and I went to an event hosted by a carriage driving club called a Fun Drive, and we just went there for fun. And the video that you're about to see is one that I shot while at that drive, and I did no editing or anything to manage the camera position, so it's what it is. It's a very strange looking video, but it is what it is. The camera is held by a selfie stick that I have bolted to the back corner of the cart, and so it's a short stick. It's an odd vantage point, and that's where this all comes from. You guys, walk up. Clara, walk up. Clara, you too. Thank you. Donkeys learn different than horses.
How's that?
They're much more easily frightened.
They spook easier.
Yeah, but once they learn something, then they spook less. But you have to like I lead them around a lot instead of driving.
A lot of hand leading. Okay. Just to get that exposure kind of.
Around scary things.
Right.
You know, I had a bad wreck, wound up in a hospital trying to drive her past something that scared her, and she ran up on a hill, and the cart got up on a side hill like this, and fell over, and I went face first in the gravel.
Man.
And so they convinced me that they just as soon I'd be more patient. There we go. But I work them all the time.
What are their names?
This is Missy in the green and Clara in the red. Missy's the mother and Clara's the daughter.
Okay, I was gonna say they look similar.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if there was relation.
And we've got a small agroforestry farm, 28 acres. We yesterday we were hauling hay.
Awesome, that's great. They probably enjoy having a job.
They do. They do. I mean, when I go to harness them up to work, they come to the gate.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're ready to get hooked up and get moving.
Mm-hmm. This is the first day they've ever gone on a long trailer ride, though. They weren't real sure about that.
They're doing really well, it looks like.
Oh yeah, they're good.
I love their ears and markings and colorings are so cool.
Yeah, I know. I think they're just beautiful.
Yeah, really, they are.
Come back a little, baby. Back a little. Come back. Missy, come back, honey. That's my girl. She over. Walk up. Claire, get up there, baby. Yeah, they're just not in the water. Oh, baby. Come on, walk up. That's good who right there, right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
For ladies, well, the biggest thing with her is that I never
did she shoot?
Raving Quarter horse.
Okay.
she has never ever been driven with a bit, believe it or not. She's got a pretty severe breathing issue, and that mare is just the softest. I mean, nicest horse. She'll go down the road. She's been in parades. We did East Indian weddings with her. So the groom would have to ride the white Arabian mare.
Yes.
Yep. So we did, and she made
I've
a
seen
ton of money for
pictures.
me there. Yep. So she made a ton of money for me there. She's done umpteen riderless horse funerals and.
Well, it's neat that the problem with most of our people too, like Dick and I lived on our own place. I had my own barn,
Yeah.
5 stalls. I had everything I needed, my own ring. I was by myself. There was nobody for me, nobody around me who drove.
Yeah.
But most people, and I couldn't drive on the streets anymore. It was too dangerous. People come whipping around the corner, you know. And that's what's going on with most of the people in the club now. There is no place to go and drive. If you, like Jerry right there, she lives on 2 acres.
Oh, geez.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
And it's the cars go whipping. So you're just, you know, you can't.
See, we're out on a highway, but we're still far enough out that it's not like the city. You know, I called the county. They put up signs for us. No big deal. No problem. I had a guy go by me the other day, which I was glad because it was good training for my mare. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, do you have to be an idiot? And he drove by, and as he come by, he honked.
Oh yeah,
at the horse. And my local cop, I got his number, and so I texted him.
Good for you.
He pulled the guy over. So I'm like, I have no problem showing up and saying, we have a vulnerable road user law. Were you aware of this? Did you know that you can go to jail for what you did?
Or they'll hang out.
Yeah. No, I have one guy. What was it? So we've got the airport right by our place, and I was driving him on the backside of the city lake. In this area, it was a crop duster. I mean, that thing don't come much higher than the trees. Yes. And the first time I come over, he went like, where the heck did it come from? The second time he kind of shied sideways. The third time he could have cared less. And I was proud of him for that. What scared him on the way back, and I can count on one hand how many times this pony's been spooked by things driving him. And it wasn't the airplane. It was this guy comes by, and I was headed back home. And there's the lake, and then there's a guardrail, and there's like 30 feet down to this like cesspool. It's like where the lake kind of drains off the overflow. And he sticks his head out the window and goes, whoa, 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 and yelled. And that pony, I mean, just scared the pony half to death. I mean, he carried on, but he was like, you know, someone screams at him out the window, like, don't be a moron.
It's very interesting what we used to show it on the American Royal, which was a big horse show in downtown Kansas City. And to get to the ring, you had to go by
Don't hassle.
where the sheep, it was like a state fair, by the sheep and the pigs.
Oh, the pigs. Pigs or horses are mortal enemies.
Pigs, I was riding out one time and somebody got pigs in a pasture. And wow, you know, it's because I think it's because they have such short little legs and they run.
Yeah, and
these were running.
they're terrifying. My one gelding, we had one show up at our house. It was a guy a couple miles away. Somehow made it all the way to our place.
Step up, little girl.
I managed to get it in my stall in the barn, but it ended up getting loose, and it ran around in the dry lot. And it was like February.
Miss, step up. Come on, we're gonna go over to
shit. It just rained 6 inches. And my one gelding thought it was like the neatest tool ever been given. I mean, you chase the pig, and every time you try and stop the room, and
that's good. Right there.
Like, oh, you're gonna bite me, but you're fine, and you run after it. The other one still needs therapy. He still does not trust that stall. Steve, every time he goes into my stall, because the pig was in there like 2 years ago,
he can still
he
smell it.
snorts. So he does not like to be in the stall. He'll go in the other ones. He does not like that stall. It had the pig in it at one point. But yeah, he was like traumatized. My miniature donkey wanted to kill it, and if he hadn't had a grazing muzzle on, I imagine that pig would have been missing some hide, because he did. Pepe jumped right on top of the pig 2 or 3 times. That's the going story at our place. I think my father-in-law had a heart attack laughing. My husband and I trying to catch this stupid loose pig.
Oh, but that was
Well, we ended up roping it is what we did. He roped the hind leg, because if you rope a leg, a pig can't go anywhere if it's got 2 legs.
Well, they are at a different obstacle now. That we used to be called the stockade, and it looked like a western stockade. They had taken the
I remember when it had the platforms and that on it.
Oh, you've been here when?
Oh yeah, I've shown here a lot at Longview, just not driving.
Okay. Well, that all rotted away.
Yeah.
But the posts didn't.
Right.
And so
they're like telephone poles. They'll be there probably after we're gone.
The rest of it is still, but it's all circles, pretty much.
Walk up, babies. Up. Let's walk over and do this stuff.
You don't know you've got to go up the hill to get home.
They don't care. They're pretty good.
Well, you can do a jigsaw going up that hill, which is easier on them. instead of going straight up.
Oh, they go uphill steeper than that on the roads around us. Oh, baby, all around.
Oh, he is. We'll take out a few of us. We'll go out. We'll go to grassy areas and trotting around.
Do what?
A big loop that went up in the trees and around with two water crossings over rock, not mud.
Right.
One over there, you went in, you wound around. We had it mowed, the track, and you came around, and then you came out over here, over another water, because it's a creek.
See, they might cross that.
They probably would, because a lot of times there wasn't even any water in it.
Right.
It was, it was for runoff.
I've got a little creek on my place, but it's eroded down too deep to make a crossing across it. So we work along it. We go across it on the road, but that's just a culvert. So
yeah. Well, now I'm looking at him from here. She's got all this to fill in yet to match. Mom.
Yeah, she's still a baby.
And all this up here, that's going to raise her withers up high. She'll be a little taller.
Yeah.
There won't be much difference anyway, I don't think.
There's not much difference in their stride, and that leads me to think that they may wind up about the same.
That was never my favorite obstacle down there.
This historically has been their least favorite thing, standing. But they've got something to watch, and so they're doing it real well today. Yeah. Now, normally, on the farm working, they'll walk all day, but I do a lot of things where I need them to stand. I'm gonna go around all my trees, and I'm gonna prune around them or something, and they have to stand at each one, and they get pretty antsy about that. So.
What trees do you grow?
I've got mostly, I call it trees. Mostly, it's a lot of chestnuts, but I've also got a lot of hazelnuts and elderberry, and then some pawpaw and some persimmon. Various things that make food. A few walnuts, fair number of oaks. They're all still very young. I just started this.
I didn't know you could grow chestnuts trees around.
Well, they're Asian chestnuts. They
don't get killed off by whatever.
Right, they're immune to the fungus. They're trying to breed American chestnuts that will survive, and
I think I read an article about that.
There's some indication that they may get it done, but we've got these. A lot of these I won't live to see bear.
Well, you kind of know that when you're messing with trees, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
you're not planting it for yourself necessarily.
Right. I'm a disabled veteran, so I live on veterans disability, and
well, thank you for your service. My brother Dick, my husband, wasn't feet so flat they wouldn't take him, but my brother was a Navy pilot.
When I got drafted, they took him. My whole basic training was crippled. I was 1Y, which is the one step above 4F, because the motorcycle wreck had damaged both my knees, and I got my reclassification as 1A and my draft notice in the same day's mail. We had guys in my draft, in my basic, who were just torn up every way you could name. We had a kid who was he essentially was what we called in those days retarded, and they went ahead and drafted him. But it was 1967, and we were spinning up for the main escalation in Vietnam, and they were drafting everything.
I was working at a radio station when I was in school, university here, and would go down to the wire, which was in a house. We were in a house, and we were at the top, and it was in the bottom. We'd run down, check the wire, and see who got, when they were doing the pulling out names and calling off the names.
Yeah.
See if my brother.
I was drafted before they went to the lottery. I was in the late years of the just everybody, basically if you had a pulse.
Well,
And
everybody I was in school with, same age as I'm 75 this year, they were all drafted.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't get drafted. They went in so they wouldn't get drafted.
I'm 74. I could have gone to school. I just didn't. My parents wanted me to. I just
Well, it didn't keep you out of it.
only about half house broke, and still am only about half house broke. So I wound up light weapons infantryman.
But it looks like you've had a good life.
I've had a very good life, and it still is. I'll get these girls. Keep me company every day.
Where's the jack that you bred them?
I don't have a jack. I got these girls from Sydney, and Sydney got Missy. It's a long story, and I don't know the details, but when she got Missy was already bred. So even Sydney doesn't know for sure what the jack was. But Missy was like a she was very much like a feral Jenny, even though she wasn't, because she'd been about on a 500-acre farm out in the pasture, and nobody paid any attention to her until Sydney got her. Sydney had to halter break her and everything, and when I got her, she was halter broke. And when I got them a year ago this past March, and so she was not quite 3 yet. She just turned 4 this year. And
anybody up there?
Lisa's here.
She got here.
Huh?
I wondered if she was coming.
Yeah, they're walking down here. I got the helmet.
Oh,
try it on.
They were through with it?
Well, Lisa's not driving yet. She's not even sure if she is going to drive because they're just going to walk them down to the water and stuff. See if it fits. And then you can ride.
walk up, girls. Up, up. Come on, Clara. Walk up. you doing?
Hey, hey. Come on, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, little.
Walk up, walk up, walk up, walk up. That thing is really good. Yeah, that's good. That's not bad. That's not bad. Good girl. Come on, honey. Come on, up you go, Clara. Walk up. Come on, baby. That's my girl. Just walk up, Clara. Walk up, honey. There, get up. Help your mom. Come on, little baby. No, Misty. No, 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 no. Just walk. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. I was looking to see if I had another water bottle, but I don't. Oh, it's got one up there.
How are the girls doing?
They're doing great.
Aren't you glad you come?
Yep. We just went around over there and walked the shady perimeter of that.
It's a beautiful park, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish they would open it more often.
There's dark,
Dark shades. You could
yeah.
They both just want to make friends with him.
What do you think, Missy? Easy.
Whoops, I dumped one down the front of you. Sorry there, girl. He says, I don't care. I'm indifferent. Baby donkey probably says, you smell like my big brother Steve. If we ever get anybody back together, it'd have to be those two to see each other. Because I mean, that horse just absolutely adored that baby donkey.
She's so friendly.
Yeah, and he just don't fight with anybody. Like, he's not. I mean, if there's fighting going on, well, I'll get it. If there's fighting going on in the pasture, he's going the other direction.
This guy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But he gets along with my old grumpy ass old mare, so I don't know what to say about it. I mean, Indigo just absolutely adores him. I mean, he was in the stall last night because I bathed him. And she was out in the backyard. I have a temporary, back up. I have a temporary pen in the summer. And I rotate them so they don't just kill the grass back there. But it's good grass, and then we have to mow it. That often. I mow it every about 3 weeks.
Right.
And she just pined for him. I'm like thinking, he's only 50 feet away. But he's in the barn was the problem, and she wasn't.
think I'm gonna drive up there and get another bottle of water. I'll be back in a minute. Girls, walk up. Missy, Clara, walk up. Trot up, trot, trot. Trot up, trot up, trot up, trot up. Clara, get up. Trot, trot. Trot up, trot up. Come on, trot, trot, trot. Come on, girls. We can do this. Oh, it ain't that hard. Oh, is it hard? Okay. Oh, okay. Now, trot. Trot up, trot up. Trot, trot. Whoop, 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 whoop. Trot, trot. Missy, Clara, trot. There we go. That's a girl. Whoa. Oh, good boy. Trot, trot. Trot, trot, trot. Trot, trot, trot. Everybody trot. Up, 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 up. Go on. Oh, you can pass. All right. Well, see, keep up. Go on, trot. Trot up, trot up. Trot, Missy. Go on. Hip, hip. Go on. Clara. Up. Move. Move. Ho, ho, ho. Whoa. Come back. Back up. Back, back. Okay, go right there. Whoa. There's my baby. Good. There's my baby. back here. Come back. All of them. Walk up. There we go. Come on, Clara. Hop. Come on, I know you can do it. Walk up, Clara. Come on. Walk up. Walk up. Go on. Walk up. Go on, walk up. Walk up, walk up, walk up, walk up. Walk up. Go on. Clara. Walk up. Come on, silly, walk up. There we go. That's right. That's how we do it. All right. There you go. Yes, I think fine. Steady, girl. You're fine. You're fine. I see you. Clara, settle down, honey. Everything's fine. I see you. Clara. Clara, honey. Everything's okay. Relax. No, you guys. Clara. Here, 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 here. Everything's fine. Come on. Come on. Nancy. Nancy, come on. No, just relax, honey. I'm gonna get you. It's not fun. I won't let it. Come on, here. That. Come on, here. Yeah. Stealing match. Yes, we stealing match. Nah. Cheap. Okay, baby. Up we go. Walk up. I see that. Oh, they're good. Oh, they got upset up there. I tied them up while I went in the porta potty, and they were tied near one of those black trash cans. So we had to have a trash can hissy fit, but we survived it. Clara was kind of winking at me this morning. I was afraid she was going to be in a bad mood today, but she's been real good. Huh? Yeah. A little more. Just a little bit there. There we go. Oh, that's good right here. Woo, right here. There's my babies. One step. Okay, babies. Up, walk up. Up we go. That's my girl. There.